Welcome to the deep dive. So today we're tackling something that, well, probably puzzles almost everyone buying a new car in India. You see that sticker price, the advertised one?
Yeah,
And then there's the price you actually pay to drive it off the lot.
right, the on-road price.
And the gap can be pretty surprising. Like, take a Maruti Swift, advertised at, say, 6.49 lakh.
Yeah, on there.
But the final on-road price in Delhi, easily over 7.28 lakh, and it gets higher in other places.
That difference, sometimes more than ₹1,00,000, that's what we're here to demystify for you.
We want to unpack it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now, our mission here is to peel back, every single layer of that cost. We'll look at everything: manufacturer costs, taxes, central and state dealer charges, regulatory stuff.
Okay, so by the end, you'll really understand why that final number is what it is.
Total transparency, that's the goal.
All right, let's dive in. That first number, the ex-showroom price, what's actually in that price? It's not just the car, is it?
No, not just the factory cost. It includes the manufacturer's production cost, sure, but also the dealer's margin, which honestly is often surprisingly small.
Really? How small?
Well, for many popular cars, it can be less than 5%.
Wow, okay. What else?
And a big chunk: the central government's goods and services tax, GST.
Right, GST. That's pretty high for cars, isn't it?
It is. For most petrol and diesel cars, it's a flat 28%.
28%.
Though it's much lower for electric vehicles, just 5%.
Okay, so ex-showroom includes manufacturing, dealer margin, and that 28% GST.
Correct. And here's where it gets, let's say, interesting for the final price. That ex-showroom price, which already has the 28% GST baked in,
Yeah.
that becomes the base amount for calculating the next set of taxes, the state-level ones.
Wait, hold on. So you're paying tax on the tax you already paid?
Essentially, yes. It's a compounding effect, a tax on tax, which really inflates the price. People often miss this part.
That seems counterintuitive. Okay, what else is layered on by the central government?
Right, so on top of GST, most cars also get hit with something called a compensation cess.
Another tax.
Another levy, yes. And this one isn't flat. It's complicated. It depends on the car.
How so?
It's based on things like the car's length, engine size, fuel type, even ground clearance for SUVs. For example, smaller cars, like those under 4 meters long with petrol engines under 1,200 cc, they pay a lower cess, maybe just 1%.
Ah. Is that why we see so many compact SUVs and those slightly shorter sedans, the sub-4-meter ones?
Exactly. You hit the nail on the head. Manufacturers literally engineer cars to fit just under these thresholds to avoid huge jumps in the cess.
So the tax structure is actually shaping car design.
Absolutely. It's a massive factor in the Indian market. So that small petrol car might have a total central tax of 29%, 28% GST plus 1% cess. But a big SUV, over 4 meters, bigger engine, high ground clearance.
What are we talking then?
It can reach a staggering 50%. That's 28% GST plus a 22%.
50%. Just in central taxes and cess. Wow. Okay.
And we're not done yet.
Oh, there's more. Of course there is.
After the central government share, the state governments step in with their big levy, road tax.
Right, the one-time registration tax.
Exactly. Paid for the vehicle's lifetime. And this one varies massively from state to state.
How much variation are we talking?
It can be as low as, say, 4% in some places, but jump up to 18%, even 20% in others.
20%. So just for illustration, if a car has an ex-showroom price of 20 lakh, the road tax alone could be, 1.6 lakh in Haryana, where it's maybe 8%, versus nearly 4 lakh in Karnataka at around 18%, just for the road tax.
Precisely. That's a huge swing in the final price, purely based on where you register the car. It drastically impacts affordability across the country.
Okay. So central GST, central cess, state road tax, anything else baked into the price before we even get to the dealership extras?
Well, there are regulatory costs, too. Think about the shift to stricter emission norms like BS6.
Ah, yes, the cleaner fuel standards.
Right. Those required significant engineering changes by manufacturers, adding anywhere from maybe 10,000 to 50,000 to the production cost per vehicle.
Which naturally gets passed on to the buyer.
Of course. It all adds up.
So we've got the car, the taxes, the cesses, the road tax, the regulatory costs. Then we get to the dealership. What happens there?
This is often where things can feel a bit murky for buyers. Some charges are totally legitimate and required.
Like what?
Things like the actual RTO registration fee, getting the mandatory high-security registration plates, or HSRP, and the fast tag for tolls. Those are needed. But many dealers add on handling charges or logistics fees. These are often quite vague, and in fact, the Supreme Court has ruled them illegal.
Illegal, but they still charge them.
It happens. And then you have the optional extras, which dealers push quite hard because they make good margins on them.
Like the insurance.
Exactly. They'll offer insurance, often at a marked up price compared to what you could get directly online.
And those essential accessory kits.
Yes. Floor mats, mud flaps, maybe a car cover, often bundled extensively. And extended warranties, too. Sometimes you can buy the same manufacturer warranty cheaper directly.
So you really need to scrutinize that final invoice from the dealer.
Absolutely. Question every line item. Compare insurance quotes yourself. Don't feel pressured into extras you don't need.
This whole structure, it sounds incredibly complex and, frankly, expensive. How does India compare globally? Are our cars just inherently costly?
That's the surprising part. If you look at the ex-showroom price, say, for that Swift again, it's actually cheaper in India than in Japan, where Suzuki is based.
Really? So it's not the manufacturing cost?
Not primarily, no. Indian manufacturing is quite competitive. The huge difference in the final on-road price comes almost entirely from our multi-layered tax system. Tax on tax plus high rates.
That also explains the massive import duties, right, on fully built cars brought in from overseas.
Yes, exactly. Duties can be 70% or even higher, making imports prohibitive for most models. It strongly encourages manufacturers to assemble cars locally in India.
Okay, so pulling it all together for someone listening, maybe thinking about buying a car, what's the main takeaway?
The biggest single reason cars feel so expensive on the road in India is, without doubt, the taxation. It's multi-layered, it compounds, and the rates are significant.
So for your next purchase, the absolute key is focusing on that final on-road price, not just the advertised ex-showroom.
Definitely. And remember how much your state of registration impacts that final number due to road tax differences.
And be prepared when you go to the dealership. Be informed.
Be an empowered negotiator. Question the charges, especially handling fees. Get your own insurance quotes. Don't be rushed.
Makes sense. Knowledge is power here.
It really is. And looking ahead, there's something interesting on the horizon.
Oh.
That compensation cess we talked about, the extra levy on top of GST.
Yeah, the one based on car size and engine.
That specific cess is actually scheduled to expire in 2026.
So it might go away.
Well, the GST framework for cars will likely be restructured. How exactly that will impact prices, whether things get simpler, cheaper, or just different. That's a big question mark.
So how the government handles that transition post-2026 could really shake things up for car buyers.
It certainly could. It's definitely something to keep an eye on and perhaps mull over as you think about your future car plans.
Definitely food for thought.